Here's a puzzle. A behavior plan is working perfectly. Mwah! Chef kiss. The data looks great. And the guy keeps getting worse. That's dual diagnosis, an intellectual disability and a mental health problem at the same time. Super common, routinely missed. The culprit, diagnostic overshadowing, where clinicians spot the disability say,
Oh, that explains it.
spoiler, it does not explain it. I'm Elle,
I'm Gabriel.
and we're just getting started.
Today, we examine the opposite failure, a diagnosis missed not by a psychiatrist, but by a behavior team. Hiding behind a perfectly good functional behavior assessment, that's the blind spot.
Meet Nicholas, 34, moderate intellectual disability, 6 years packing boxes at the same job, and he loved it. Then, 4 months ago, a referral, one word on the form, non-compliance. He won't get out of bed, and when staff push, everything comes off the table.
And that referral is where the reasoning goes wrong, not through carelessness, through routine. The team ran the FBA properly. 4 weeks of descriptive ABC data. The pattern was clean. Destruction followed a task demand, and the task was withdrawn. Function, escape. Negative reinforcement. That was a correct finding.
And the team does everything right. Demand fading, high probability sequences, functional communication training, differential reinforcement, and it works. 6 weeks later, property distraction has dropped right off.
The behavior changed. Nicholas got worse.
But 3 things just didn't add up. He asked for breaks, then does nothing with them. He has lost 6 kilos. He's waking up at 4 a.m. And the big one, he starts refusing things nobody demanded. Movie night, his favorite meal, even his brother's visits.
Escape cannot account for that. There is no demand to escape from. So, they reran a preference assessment, and stimuli that ranked highest a year earlier now produce almost no approach responses. His reinforcers have stopped working globally. That's not a contingency problem. That's anhedonia.
Let's break this down. Gabriel, start us with the biology.
Major depressive disorder, weight loss, early morning waking, psychomotor slowing. But first, rule out the mimics. Thyroid pain, medication. Lunsky and Weiss 2012 opened with that exact question.
Psychologically, access is the whole problem. Nicholas can't tell us he feels worthless, and DSM criteria depend on exactly that. Ethan and colleagues 2021 show depression here lives in behavior. Irritability, withdrawal, lethargy. Exactly what got labeled non-compliance.
And socially, 8 months before the referral, Nicholas's mother died. He was told she went away. He wasn't taken to the funeral. Staff believed they were protecting him.
Barrier 1, we call it behaviorization. Overshadowing blames the disability. This is its mirror, blaming the contingency. Either way, we stop asking why. The fix? Screen for mental health inside the FBA and treat mood as a motivating operation.
Second, depression and intellectual disability doesn't announce itself in words. Solution, the DM-D-2. Fletcher and colleagues 2018, which substitutes observable criteria for internal state criteria. Paired with an informant screen, the PAS-ADD checklist, Moss and colleagues 1998.
The third barrier is unrecognized loss. People with intellectual disabilities are often left out of conversations when someone important to them is gone or when major changes happen, when their grief isn't acknowledged or supported. Dodd et al. 2005 described this as disenfranchised grief. So, how do we catch this, Gabriel?
3 layers. The PAS-ADD as an informant screen, the DM-D-2 for adapted criteria, and third, the contribution, I'd argue is ours, serial preference assessments. A global collapse in approach, responding is an objective. Nonverbal index of anhedonia. You can't interview that out of a man with moderate DD. You can measure it.
So, that's our evidence-based assessment. 3 validated layers. And the good news, we keep the FBA. It wasn't wrong. It was incomplete. The anomaly was sitting in its own data all along. So, what do we do about it?
Behavioral activation. And the point is that behavioral activation is an operant treatment. Lewinson, 1974, modeled depression as a collapse in response contingent positive reinforcement. Treatment rebuilds reinforcer density through graded activity scheduling. Jahoda and colleagues, 2024, adapted a manualized version. Beat it for this population.
So ABA's answer to depression already existed. We pair it with psychiatric care, an antidepressant trial tracked with the team's own data. Ilon and Michael 1959 updated, data is a common language and real grief work Best practice for disenfranchised grief. Tell him the truth, a memory book, and a visit to the grave.
So, our conclusion isn't that FBA failed. It found a real function. It just wasn't the whole person.
We found the function, but we missed the person. So the next time a file says non-compliance, look again, because that is exactly when the diagnosis hides the person. Thanks for watching.